we'll go to the next game, the 49ers at US Bank Stadium to play the Minnesota Vikings. Christian, does anything jump off the board at you in this game?
Yeah.
It's going to be Sam Darnold facing his former team. And I'll tell you, just that alone, just the scout team quarterback or the backup quarterback facing his old first-team defense, I think they're going to be ready to take it to him. I got the 49ers defense dominating this game. But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I feel like the Shanahan family could find, I think, 90% of America could somehow get them 20 rush yards in a football game. He just manages to make that work. He's such a great offensive head coach. I was concerned about the offensive line coming into the first week last night. Yeah, Pooney.
We got to give Pooney his flowers.
Yeah, he looked really good. The O-line looked really good. Purdy looked really good. Everyone looked really good. I just saw that Christian McCaffrey has ankle tendonitis, so that's something to keep an eye on. But to be honest with you, he doesn't have to come back anytime soon. So, yeah, I think as long as they have Shanahan making those schemes, making those plays up, I don't think their run game is going to go anywhere. I think Minnesota is going to have an extremely hard time stopping the run and keeping the ball out of San Francisco's hands. But again, I'm interested to see what Kevin O'Connell draws up versus this defense as well. I think he's a brilliant coach as well. I think we can agree on that.
Yeah.
So I don't think San Francisco is going to stop the Vikings in any way. I think you're going to see Kevin O'Connell's brilliance on display, but you're right. I don't think their defense stands a chance versus San Francisco offense that it doesn't seem like they've lost a step at all, even without Christian McCaffrey, which is absurd to say.
No, and they, as you said, that Mike Shanahan, or Kyle Shanahan, I should say, Kyle Shanahan was able to go back into his lab and pull a new undrafted free agent running back to come put $150 out of nowhere on another team.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's something to see. And I just the matchup between Kyle Shanahan's offensive play calling and Brian Flores and his aggressive defensive play calling is definitely going to be something to watch. Whenever you're watching a game with the Vikings, you have to consider Justin Jefferson, but I don't know if the offense that the Vikings have in place, I think, like you said, Kevin O'Connell has called a great offense before, but he's facing the master in Kyle Shanahan. Yeah. So we'll see. I don't think they're going to be able to get the ball to Justin Jefferson consistently. I think the 49ers are going to control the game on both sides of the ball. I will say, though, just watching Brock Purdy play, they're going to have to pay him. You've got to pay him.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't seem like the guy that I would want to pay while letting Pro Bowlers walk around him. It's they're putting themselves in a situation where, he's game managing this team to division championship after division championship and taking them to the Super Bowl. And you can't move off this guy, but I don't know that I would want to pay him that much because I don't think that he's a game-changing quarterback. I still don't. I think that he is able to minimize his mistakes. He's a great game manager quarterback, but he's not the type of guy I would want to be paying $60+ million a year to, which is easily what it's going to be after this season when he's on the market. So we'll see how it works out. He's going to demand quite a bit, and I sound silly as a Bears fan being like, I wouldn't want to pay him because he took the 49ers further than the Bears have been in a long time, but we'll see. I still have some of my reservations with Brock Purdy.
Yeah, and also we have to shout out, we really do have to shout out the quarterbacks in college right now. I think the pool of talent at the quarterback position is unreal. I feel like I've seen 5, 6, 7 guys that I feel like obviously they couldn't play in the NFL tomorrow, but man, in the next 2 to 3 years, these guys, I mean, Raiola in Nebraska looks like Mahomes.
He really does.
The kid from Tennessee is a 6'6". I don't even know.
Sure.
Yeah. And then obviously
they're building cyborgs out here.
Yeah. And those aren't even guys eligible for next year's draft.
Right.
So extremely interested to see what happens moving forward. And then what if Kyle Shanahan gets a top 10 quarterback in the next 5 years? I mean, what would they look like? I can only
make their next, they could make their next swing at a guy like Trey Lance, where they, it's that move is still insane to me, because think of how good that team could be if they had gotten that pick right.
Right.
That Trey Lance move is a transaction that usually would cripple a franchise, and the 49ers have been able to cruise right past it. Yeah. We're able to, fall back on Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, and everything works out. But we'll see. I agree with you that I think that Brock Purdy, while, I have nothing bad to say about him necessarily as a quarterback, I don't think that he can reach the ceiling of some of the guys in the league now, or like you said, I mean, the guys in college, they're going to be general managers looking 2 years down the line with regard to their draft picks this season, just based on that draft class coming down the line with Raiola, Ayamaleva, any of these guys. They're more than we realized. Maybe not this upcoming draft, but in 2026, that draft could have some serious talent, and Raiola won't even be in that one.